our discussion, we will only focus on the fundamentals of machining and perhaps later on the machining centers, advanced machining concepts and structures, and machining, maybe not machine economics. All right. So this chapter is to show the fundamental. Okay, there are various processes in material removal, which is machining. Yeah, machining is the only process that removes materials. Okay, there are turning. Turning process is a process that involves workpiece that is in cylindrical shape, and the workpiece is rotated, and the cutting tool removes a layer of material as the product or the workpiece moves, rotated, and the tool moves to the left of the workpiece, or vertical to the workpiece, perpendicular. So there's also cutting off operation, which is also usually on the turning machine again. It's the cutting tools moves radially inward and separates the right piece from the bulk of the blank. The blank is the plain workpiece that hasn't been processed or machined yet. Okay, slab milling, as it clearly says them, it's a milling process. Slab is a bigger shape, rectangular workpiece. Usually the cutting tool is rotated, either it's in horizontal or vertical, and it removes a layer of material from the surface of the workpiece. Whilst end milling is when a cutter, a rotating cutter, travels along a certain depth in the workpiece and produces a cavity. A cavity is like a hole, but with a different kind of shapes, not just a circle hole. Okay, these are the examples of common machining operations. The turning is as shown in A, cutting off is illustrated in B, slab milling is as shown here is a horizontal cutting tool, and end milling is with a vertical cutting tool. C and D is an example of milling machine, and A and B are example from turning or lathe machine. Okay, so this is a schematic illustration of a turning process. Okay, chip is the materials that are removed layer by layer from this material removing process or machining process, and the cutting tool is in a sort of cubic shape. Okay, and it is held by the tool holder. So the cutting tool is called as inserts because it can be removed and changed with a new insert, or the same cutting tool, but at each edge or at each corner it is able to be used as cutting tool. Okay, the old version of machining centers, the cutting tool is the whole thing. They have no insert, so once it is blunt, they have to sharpen the cutting tool again, just like you sharpen a pencil. Okay, here you need to understand this. These are the fundamental in cutting or machining. It has this term which is called as feed, of how much material that you cut into in one motion is called feed. That's why the unit is mm per revolution. For each revolution, when in turning, for example, the material or the workpiece rotated along its axis. So per that revolution, how thick the cutting tool goes in. Okay, and depth of cut is how thick the cutting tool goes inward into the axis or radially of the workpiece, the cylindrical workpiece. Okay, so there's feed and there's also depth of cut, also in mm. All right, so these schematic diagram is very important for you to understand the basic of material removal. The figure here, it is labeled as figure 21.3 based on the figure number in the textbook Manufacturing Technology by Sir Kalpakjian. Okay, so the figure in the textbook shows this two-dimensional orthogonal cutting model or merchant model that all of you need to understand and remember. These are the model that has been used to understand material removal process. Okay, so the chip and the workpiece are elaborated so that you can see the angles involved in a cutting. The tool is in contact with the chip, yeah, and if I can show, oh sorry, I cannot show it. Okay, so and V is the speed of the cutting speed. Okay, and there are two conditions there, A and B. A is orthogonal cutting with a well-defined shear plane. As you can see, the shear plane is the plane where the chips has been formed and the original material. Okay, so there's a clear shear plane there in picture A. So this is called as merchant model. Also, please note that the assumption here is that the tool shape is in that shape, and you need to remember the different surfaces. The tool face is where the tool and the chip in contact, and the other side of the tool is called the flank, okay, facing the workpiece, right? And in B, this is called as orthogonal cutting with a well-defined shear plane. As you can see, the shear plane is not a simple plane, but is a zone or an area between the chips and the workpiece that has not been cut yet. Okay, and you can see in this condition the angle is not as accurate perhaps as the figure A, or the thickness of the chips, or sometimes the cutting speed. All the variables can help, not in a good way, to produce condition B. As you can see, when the shear plane is not in a well-defined form, the surface that it created has some damage to it. Yeah. So there are things that or factors that influence the cutting process. The major independent variables in a cutting process are tool materials and coatings. Okay, what does the coatings do? It protects the tool material from having too much built up edge, or BUE. Cutting means that there's a high friction force between the cutting tools and the material. There might be some material affinity between cutting tools and the workpiece, so the electrons from the material, as a result of high temperature because of the friction, might move from the workpiece onto the tool. If the affinity is very close, chemical location in the timetable, the chemical timetable, is near, so this tend to happen, the built up edge. So if you're using the cutting tool with the coating, so it will reduce the tendency of a built up edge on the cutting tool. When it happens, it will it will create non-smooth, unsmooth, cracked surface finish, which we don't want. Okay. There are other variables such as tool shape. You can have round tool shape, you can have a diamond shape, and so many shape. So it has different effect on the product or the output of the machining process itself. Of course, the surface finish of the tool, the sharpness of the tool will create different texture on the surface of the workpiece. Okay, and of course the workpiece material, if it's a soft material, it's easier to cut. Perhaps you want to use a higher velocity, because if it's too slow, it will create more heat because of the friction, and it will lead to a very bad surface. Okay, cutting speed, feed, and depth of cut is the variables that you need to remember. They are always there, and if you're using cutting fluids, for example, it will help manage the cutting tools, and as well as the surface finish of the workpiece. Of course, characteristic of the machine tool plays an important aspect, like whether it's vibrated or it's steady enough to do the cutting process. And of course, work holding and fixturing. Okay, here are the elaboration of what does these factors do